My name is Dominik Samson. I have been working since 2017 with Elatec, but today I'm here as a neutral industry expert without any company affiliation. And I focus on markets, strategy, innovation, new topics, and business development, and also the access control market. And when Ivan asked me to come and join him and give a presentation, I was really happy, so thanks for the invitation. And I started to think, okay, what can I present to a room full of experts that might be interesting enough to all these experts? So I already apologize in case you know all I'm showing, that just shows that you know your stuff. And I came back to this idea, what can I show as a neutral person without giving away any secrets, which I shouldn't say. And so I came to the title, actually in the flyer it says, Proof of Market Trends with Publicly Available Insights. I switched that to Support of Market Trends because you can't prove it so mathematically. And what I will try is to state 5 trends and then see if we can see statements in the market, in marketing, in LinkedIn announcements, in sheets, to prove that these trends are actually happening, and then what does it mean for our industry. And as this question and answer does work so really well at the end, there are so many questions, please feel free to interrupt me during the discussion and try to have that a little bit interactive. We will have 10 minutes planned for question and answer, so maybe we can do that interactive during the presentation. If not, all good. This said, first we will go through the 5 hypotheses, market trends. We will deep dive on each trend, and we will close with a conclusion. So straightforward. The 5 trends. So one of them is access control readers become more interoperable. Can we confirm that with publicly available insights or not? Second, access control controllers become open to third-party providers so that you can put your stuff on the controllers. The third one, the software is moving to the cloud, which is a trend you probably already checked right now. And finally, open credentials. Is there a trend in Europe and in the US? And last but not least, what is happening to the mobile credentials with Apple, Google, and other options? So, starting, hypothesis, readers become more open, become interoperable. Well, I would like to say yes, there's a trend we can see, and we will prove that, we will support that with 3 examples. And how did we do that? Well, I was looking for old data sheets from companies, seeing if there was OSDP mentioned, comparing to the new data sheets, to the most current product, and checking if there is now OSDP mentioned. And for example, if we look at STIT, there's an old reader where you can still find the data sheet from 2008. It doesn't mention anything about OSDP. It's the Riga and log data, and that's it. And then you look at their modern or latest products, they mention OSDP version 1, version 2, everything as a standard in their list. So it seems that they are including that in their product. Okay, let's look at another company. Let's look at Third Millennium, for example, another reader manufacturer. Here we can even see the evolution of their product in the datasheet itself. So it seems that the RX300, first version, didn't have OSDP. The next version didn't have it either. And now the RX390, it has OSDP already as optional. So they are following the trend. And I bet the next version has it as a standard with a full dot. And to add a third example, HID. In an old data sheet from the R10, R40 line from 2012, actually it's pretty nice because with HID you can find so many data sheets in the internet, so it's easier to find an old data sheet. There was OSDP already as optionally mentioned, because I guess they invented it somehow together with Mercury in 2008, I think. And now, with the new Sinu line, it appears as standard. It's mentioned OSDP, nothing is optional, it's just there. And we could continue that list easily. On the reader side, it's really easy to find now readers that are compatible with OSDP. That brings me to the point, yes, hypothesis supported. Almost all access control readers offer OSDP. Almost all access control reader providers offer OSDP compatible readers. So this trend we can easily confirm by publicly available data. Nothing we didn't know already, but that's nice to add here for completeness. Next trend. Controllers open up to third-party software. That's a little bit harder because there are less controller manufacturers than reader manufacturers. However, we were also able to find 3 examples to support this hypothesis. So Access, for example, they promote on their website that they work with Genetec. So Access powered by Genetec access control solutions. So certainly one data point supporting our theory. Another one, Vanderbilt and CPAS. So on the ACA website, third party, how to say, Vanderbilt is promoted as a CPAS integrated controller on the ACA website. So another data point supporting our trend that controllers become more open to third parties. And as third example, Prevo and Mercury solutions. So HID, Mercury and Prevo, they promote that the new Mercury controller is now running with a special Prevo solution. So third party running on the initial controller manufacturer. So we found 3 examples. So I think we can claim hypothesis supported. Access controllers are opening up to third party software. Good. Next trend. Access control software moves to the cloud. I guess that's also a trend like OSCP where they say, yes, we know that, it's confirmed. Still, for completeness, let's find 3 examples and see if we confirm that with publicly available statements. So on the PCS website, I could find, formerly it was called DexiCon as a solution on-site, and now they call it Dexios, a modern web-based application. So yes, they switched to a cloud-based offering. One supporting sample found. Another one on the ACA website again. Formerly it was called ACT Pro software, and you can find in the footnote it was a license you buy and you install locally, and now they promote it as ACT 365 in the cloud. I hope they don't get in trouble with Microsoft with ACT 365 and the Office 365 analogy, but I'm pretty sure they check that. And the final example, let's take Linnell. Linnell, same trend, easily confirmable. Formerly they called it OnGuard. Now they call it OnGuard Cloud because they move the solution in the cloud. So I think the third trend, yes, we can support that hypothesis. Yes?
Before you move on, is that true globally?
What do you mean with globally?
Are there parts of the world where this is true and then other parts of the world where that is not true?
You're going into that local hosting data outside country discussion.
From my experience, all English-speaking countries move at a faster pace towards the cloud than all other languages.
Well, I always say US is really innovative. They are fastest, especially Prevo, they have the same. I didn't put them here. They are really, really fast. I know there are some countries like in the Middle East where you are not allowed to host data outside country. And when you then come with a cloud solution, you may have a lot of discussions that the cloud solution is hosted actually in your country, which might not be. And that's why I say drive more for we let it on-site, please, to have not data hosted outside country. So to answer your question, I would say it's at a different speed in different regions, some faster, some slower. I would say it's still a global trend because this cloud, everybody's doing it, and it seems to have some benefits in rolling it out because you don't need your own computer, you don't need your own IT department. In theory, it should be more secure because a data center that is only taking care about security 24/7 should be more secure than the company-owned IT department with a locally hosted solution.
So what is your opinion if today in Germany 1 out of 10 systems is hosted in the cloud and the rest is on-premise? In 10 years' time, how many systems out of 10 example projects will be hosted in the cloud?
Well, that's a very good question because as a strategist, I'm always looking in the future and I'm always really optimistic about innovation and so on. Our industry, the access control industry, is really, really slow. I worked in the aeronautic industry with Airbus before. I thought they were slow. Access control is almost that slow. So to answer your question, I think in 10 years, no, in 5 years, is that right?
10 years, 5 years, whatever you want.
There will still be locally hosted solutions for small companies where the owner says, no, I don't trust anybody. For small hotels, maybe the trend reverses. You can even see that starting somewhere now that the trend goes backwards again. So my assumption is it will be maybe even. Both will exist. It will not cease to exist that there's a locally hosted solution. But if I knew the exact answer, I would be playing the lottery. So, sorry. Yes, please.
Yeah, it surprises me that you say like in 5 to 10 years, there will still be on-premise for smaller customers. So we think more that large corporations don't trust to put their data into the cloud, and it will be much lower for larger customers than for smaller customers. I don't know if it's like the same what you feel in the room.
That is true. That has the effect of scale. That's why a larger corporate certainly can do that much easier. But there are more people to decide, and it's more difficult for one person to decide, I want to have a local solution. My answer was based on the assumption you have a local business owner, a small shop, 20, 40, 50 people, owned by one person. If that guy says, I want to have local, he can buy it. And that's why I think there will still be a niche, just because there are paranoid people keeping that niche market up. There was a post from Leo Des, which you may have read last week or 2 weeks ago, where he was focusing on one company that was on purpose not going to a cloud solution because they said there will always be a market for the established solution. So my answer was based on having that statement in mind. But yours is also right, absolutely.
But I can confirm that our industry is slow, right?
As slow as our own.
Luckily, also, I mean, luckily, right? But in a way, to show this, right? I mean, how many small businesses actually still have like anything still running on premise today? It moved fast, all their business applications moved to the cloud, and up to the point that the only server still running on premise will be that access control server running, right? So, where they need to keep an IT guy to maintain this. That's my view on the topic. Yeah, so I can confirm that our industry is rather slow.
I mean, just when I came here, I was checking into my hotel. It was a small hotel, and I called the owner. Yeah, we have a problem with mechanical key. The former guest took it with him. I was just thinking, okay, that's a good example, right?
You are lucky guys to find a hotel with mechanical keys, right?
Well, it was a small
One of
business,
10.
but they still exist. Great. Any more statements? Because that's great if it's interactive.
And I think, when, especially to the slowness of the market, this is also you compared it with the other businesses which is happening in a company. Mostly when hardware is affected, the speed goes dramatically down.
Yeah, and then the building is affected. I mean, a building is something almost holy. Sometimes the companies don't own it; they have to speak to the landlord. And yeah, I don't like to compare it with aircraft, but the speed is similar. Reminds me a lot of that. Okay, shall we go to the next trend? We have 2 left. Okay, so here hypothesis supported, they move to the cloud, all of them, but maybe not all of them, and we will see what the future brings. We will all be an active part of it, I think. The next one, open credentials. Now the structure changes a little bit, but still we try to prove it with the publicly available insights. So let's take the OSS in DACH. So what I could find is I can find the actual list of participants. It doesn't match the numbers Gunnar gave, so something's off here. Maybe the website isn't up to date.
I took it from the website last week.
Okay, then we have different pages on the website.
English and German versions are different.
That's also true, yes. English and German version also differ.
In German language there are much more members than in English based version.
Okay, so you have to talk to them.
I don't think about that.
I'm just happy that Dom is now on the level of the full members, what I try to do.
But it was enough to make a point, because what we can do, we can take a screenshot from today or last week, and we can compare it with how was it looking years ago. Okay, years ago was only 2022 with the Wayback Machine. But I could do a kind of analysis and see how many companies joined And there were 4 companies joining. Corbisoft joined, PKS joined, PKA, and C Schließsysteme. And start considering that there are only a small number so far, it's about 20% growth, I would say, roughly, within 18 months, 20 months. So it's growing. So I'd like to conclude with the OSS. There seems to be a trend of more adoption because they're getting more members in the DACH market. So this trend is coming. If we look back to OSS, and we know it was first introduced as an idea by Mercury in 2005, then published together with HID as a proposal in 2008, then finally became a standard in 2020 by SIA, I think. And now it's 2024, and now we say it's a real trend, it's in every data sheet. So it's 20 years. I think OSS isn't 20 years old yet, so maybe it just takes more time because we are a slow industry. But the trend is there, I would say. Looking at North America, there's Peacock, so the public key open credential. What I could find is the participating members. I couldn't go back in the past to see how it's growing. So what I could find is, let's check how many companies are already out there promoting Peacock in their data sheet so that they use it as a marketing tool, because that also shows it's catching up as a trend. And yes, we could find again 3 examples. Ideas, Taklio, I think that's actually an internet reader, and INID, promoting in the data sheets, we do Peacock. To be honest, it was really hard to find 3 examples on this. Maybe the marketing departments do not fully leverage on Peacock yet, but there is a trend. Small, but growing. I would say, let's look at this again in 5-10 years, it will be much, much bigger. That's my hypothesis. And the conclusion, hypothesis supported, open credentials are becoming more established and will enable more interoperable systems. So, this said, we come now to the last trend we are trying to prove/support. Proliferation of mobile credentials. So here we will split it into 2 parts. Let's first look at the wallet-based mobile credentials. And as an example, I took HID because they are really, really active in the marketing department here. And I found a lot of examples and what's happening. And I would like to form a hypothesis here. So what we can see is they build a platform, and now we have integrators like, let's call them integrators or software partners like Swift Connect, like Wincard, like Genea, like Sherry. And those guys are having the big publicly available or presented projects like SAP. I'm not sure if that was aligned actually with the marketing department, because the first time I heard about that was a LinkedIn post of the chief AI officer showing proudly his phone with a badge opening a door. Now you can see it in a statement from Swift Connect, but I think the LinkedIn post was faster. But it's happening there. SAP, the most valuable German company, switching to mobile credentials in wallet. Wincard, Clarion Post Hotel is now obviously providing passes for the guests on Apple and Google systems. Seems to be a really great step forward. Genea, they have Shopify as a partner. I couldn't find a statement from Shopify itself, but it's stated in the Genea press release, so certainly it's there. And Sherry, for example, is equipping the Q22 tower in Bordeaux. So this list is not exclusive. I just wanted to show we can support from the outside that HID is building a platform and is trying to leverage a platform. That's what I take from this look at what's happening at the moment. And we can see the same with Wavelinks. They are also promoting that they are providing a platform. We can see on their website the partners. So there's Genea again, there's Swift Connect and Sherry again. There's also Freevo, Solo Insight, Cohesion, Enterprises, Carton Systems. Unfortunately, I was not able to find the end customers that are served with that platform solution. I'm pretty sure they are there. That was just not publicly available. After a few hours Googling, I stopped because I thought, well, you may know the examples, but I couldn't make my point with a publicly available statement. So, first hypothesis, it's a race of platforms for passes. HID, Wavelinks, Logic maybe, there are other platform builders. And that's one trend I can observe here in the mobile credential part. But to conclude that part, there's something else happening. I saw a statement from Apple that with iOS 18.1, the NFC interface will open up even more. And if that's opening up and enabling now using the NFC part of an iPhone for mobile credentials, you can build an app that is using NFC on iPhones. And if you remember correctly, all this BLE stuff is around because for the last 15 years or more, Apple was always blocking the NFC interface. So everybody had to rely on BLE. And that's why all these BLE-based mobile credential companies are out there. And now suddenly it will become possible with Apple, and I hear that Ivan is actually showing that already at the show and with this app.
Call number 8, stand C10. So you can check the first lock opened by iPhone NFC HC in background. Yeah, so.
And that brings me to the question, how will this affect the trend we thought we could observe with the platform builder for the wallet passes? And that's why, for that part, I would like to only form a hypothesis, and actually two hypotheses. Opposite to previous trends, it seems currently a race between platforms for wallet. Yes, we see that actually we can somehow confirm. But I'd like to state the hypothesis, unconfirmed. Apps might bloom again with this opening up. And we don't know how that will affect the market on the platforms for the wallet passes, because that's actually an open question. I could talk for that many, many more minutes, or hours even, but there will be a podium discussion and maybe the topic will pick up or we talk later at the buffet or so, because that's really keeping me up at night. I don't know how the future will look like. Yes, please.
On Android, you see it is working with NFC.
Yes.
But also the feedback what we get from our customers is that at the end these app approaches still a pain. Because you need to show that the app is open, you need to log in into the app. And from my perspective, also with this announcement, the app approach will be there, no discussion. It could be much more cheaper as the wallet one, and at the end it depends what the company is the willingness to pay. The wallet solution is much more expensive, but convenient enough compared to the app where you have limitations. Also with battery and offline support as the device is off.
Yes and no, I would like to say. Because the app solution, you need a team that develops the app and that keeps the app up to date. If there's an update of the OS, you need to do something, otherwise the app isn't working anymore. So there are huge fixed costs you need to have the app up and running. Once you have that, the app is basically free, because just one more download, it costs nothing. If you go as an end user with a wallet-based solution using one of the platforms, you don't need to do anything, because you have the app, the wallet app already on your phone. So,
Of course,
in the
single
beginning,
digit to two-digit price is a difference for companies where you have to manage more than 1,000 people.
exactly. And
So
so,
at the end, I expect when there is not a willingness to make a price attractive, we will see both in the market. When Apple decides to go really 1/3 or less from the price, then maybe you will see a change.
yes, and I don't know the answer to that yet, but I'm pretty
We
sure.
also looking into the future what will happen there.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Maybe we can pick up that later during a year or so. And any more comments before we come to the last slide? Thank you. Well, the last slide is actually summary. Oh, that was different with my page. Okay, good. So I would say we can support four trends, and one, we have formed a hypothesis. Yes, readers with OSTP become the hidden standard. You all knew that already before my talk, sorry for bothering you, check. Second, controllers are more open to third-party connections. It's a trend, less visible because there are less controller manufacturers, but yes, also happening, check. You all knew that probably as well. Access software currently trends to move to the cloud. Yes, we all knew that as well. Question is, will it continue? Will it move back? And how does the future look? We will see that. Last, support the trend. There are open credentials promoted in North America and Europe. Yes, certainly. This will grow. I'm very sure about that because that really enables interoperability security, and you're not locked to one vendor. However, one vendor is convenient. That's why there are this one vendor provides all strategies, and they are very successful. Because it works. Also great. And last point, in mobile credential platforms push to dominate the World Pass market, but an app-based solution might come back or might be parallel, so let's see what the future brings. This said, thank you very much. We have now the chance for questions if there are any left.